All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia, Season 4, Episode 10.
We're getting closer and closer to that 10, 11 range where things get crazy. So
Yep. So at about this point in Season 3, they were dropping us the most mondo of climactic showdowns. So in this one, we are kind of continuing off from where Fat Gum and our boy Kirishima,
the hardest of boys. His heart is the hardest.
Yes, came through their whole situation there, and let's catch in maybe with the rest of the crew.
Mirio,
with Deku and what he's doing. Mirio. The rest of everyone there. Dungeon crawl time, y'all. Without further ado, let's jump right back into it. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion. Okay, all right. So we're at the next stage of the dungeon crawl.
Yep.
We have Twice and Toga taking center stage now, and I love it. I love it.
I didn't expect to love it this much.
I didn't
expect that this would happen, but and I never would have thought that they would be like such a dynamic duo, you know. But now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense because they both have disguisery kind of, you know, mucking around kind of quirks.
And if you wanted to put spies and subterfuge people in another organization, and these are the quirks you have available to you, Twice and Toga are more than capable.
Yeah.
In fact, it's almost like a bit telling that Overhaul was maybe going to use them as cannon fodder too, by being like, now temp squad people, go do your work, you know.
Right.
I mean, like, okay, I don't really care about you, but he did keep them around long enough that they weren't a member of the group that was then to
and it makes sense. And it makes sense that he would want them because being able to disguise themselves or create copies, you know, that's very helpful considering that the heroes are here to acquire individuals, right? VIPs, right? Like Overhaul and Eri, right?
Well, he didn't want them initially. He negotiated for others, like Kurogiri and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In some ways, Shigaraki did good by saying, like, no, hell no.
Yeah, I'm not giving you Kurogiri. No way.
Yeah, the ones he was thinking of giving, or he was wanting to be given were... let me see.
And the whole thing of Shogi, that was cool. And the idea of using the enemy's pieces, right?
Give us Kurogiri or Toga. Oh, he did want Toga.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And maybe Bubai Gawara. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because of course he'd want Kurogiri, because Kurogiri would be perfect here. You just teleport away, right? Like, yeah.
Kurogiri is terrifying how useful.
We're in a dungeon crawl. We're slowly making progress. They just teleport somewhere else. Princess is in another castle.
What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do?
It's just
you boned.
Yep.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, but so the two of them are there. Their antics were absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Toga has Aizawa's blood now.
Toga has a lot of people's blood. Like, though, I love Jacob. Like,
well, yeah.
Like, it's actually a little freaky by now, like how many characters she's already interacted with where she could have their blood.
Yep.
And if she does have their blood, like,
yeah,
like she doesn't get their quirks.
No,
of course not.
But even so, that's terrifying. Like, it's something where, because her quirk on its own, like, or at least her fighting doesn't feel particularly terrifying. The aesthetic of it is creepy, right? And this fight did help to improve her sense of terrifyingness in combat by her, you know, actually getting a wound on Aizawa. But it's not the kind of thing where I would be particularly scared of Toga, right? But the idea of like her just getting more and more people's blood over time, it's like this is a villain that is scaling. But scaling in utility, so it's really cool. Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yep.
We start off with Kirishima and Fat Gum getting the recap from their fight, and we had Rappa. Yeah. He basically
the manliness moved him.
Yes, exactly. And he's just like, hey, you know, we have a we have a medic spot over here.
Yeah,
you can come and heal up your wounds so I can kill you.
Yeah.
Fight to the death.
That felt
and I'm not dead, so clearly it's a draw at this point. Yeah.
I'm gonna pay for your heart transplant so that I can beat you to death. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, so that was good.
That was cool. That was cool. And apparently, world building. There's in MMA now in the MHA universe. You can use your quirk.
There's probably certain quirks that you're allowed to use and certain ones that you're not allowed to use.
Like,
but there's no limit on what you do with your quirk, essentially.
Yeah, and the fact that he was talking about like fights to the death and stuff, it's like whoa. Like maybe that was something where it's just the idea that you could die, you know? And with quirks, that's probably even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that was a little thing, you know. We have their backstory bit where, you know, he joins the crew. We see Kirishima kind of moving, you know, Fat Gum there, why he was, you know, so much of a fan of Kirishima.
And Rappa saying twice, you know, you mentioned it of that man over there, right?
Yeah.
Which is just cool.
Yeah.
Even though Kirishima like didn't even really hear it, right? Because he just got the snot beaten out of him.
This bit with Rappa, yeah. So Overhaul is a full-on like father from FMAB level alchemist. It's basically what
it's alchemy,
Well, right, but it's basically what the word overhaul means. Like it's, you know, take things apart and put them back together.
And now we know something about his quirk. Yeah. He doesn't necessarily, because what I'm guessing, right? Because of course he can't create life, right? Because otherwise that'd be too busted.
That would be ridiculous.
But the fact that he was able to put him back together means he can have his quirk do something, even if he doesn't necessarily know he doesn't necessarily need to understand down to the details of everything, say, about how the brain works in order to reconstruct it, because all the stuff was there, right? He pasted him, and then he undid the pasting.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and in some ways I'm like, okay, that's BS, because his touching for the quirk makes sense. But then once someone's been splatted and their blood is everywhere, he can still reconstitute them. Does their blood like suck back into the body and go to its specific spot?
It feels like it's some How do the parts know that they're still a part of that other thing?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Especially if they've been deconstructed to the point where they're not really.
It's just molecules floating around like.
This is how strong his quirk is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so now the touch thing doesn't apply either. You know,
right?
Because he's not touching every single part,
right? Exactly, and that's probably part of the issue with it, anyways. Is because if that were the case, there has to be some level of like magic spell. It sort of knows things, because otherwise, if he touches a person, the person versus the clothes versus the ground they're standing on, physically, what's the difference, right? The molecules are bonded together, I guess, but you know, but maybe it's something where he specifically touched it and there
was already sending
he sent both, so there was the paste them and then also reconstitute
them, and the amount of force that caused it to deconstruct was enough to make it splatter, but because the signal from his hand or what have you that had been sent to reconstitute
Bacchanode back together.
Bacchanode back together, exactly.
But still, that is so terrifying.
So this takes like all the bad touch quirks from the past and just kind of goes, I'm gonna take a hot dump on all of your careers.
But wait, there's more. Like, because the thing is, the bad touch, right? That's really powerful.
Right.
That's not scary though.
Yeah.
The bad touch part of it isn't what's scary. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that with this, the utility
is insane.
And we've said this before, that the utility for Overhaul is off the hook, right? You know, I mean, it has to be with the quirk that he has. But as a demonstration, like, that's unreal.
In some ways, I hope he's juiced up, and that's probably why he's so strong. Sure. Is that he's testing it or something like that?
And maybe it's something where, like, he can do this because he splatted him, but he wouldn't. But if someone else had splatted him, he wouldn't be able to reconstitute it.
Yep.
So we don't have to worry about someone that can heal.
Yes.
And just
on
magically,
the bad side, just going like, oh,
we don't
Deku, you broke his spine and like did all that other kind of crazy stuff. But that's the thing, because he did heal the reservoir dogs though. and they had minor things that they were dealing with. But the thing is that those were like unintentional. The Reservoir Dogs were like melded into pavement and trucks and everything like that. And he got them out of that. But it was like dental fillings were just brought back. So maybe he actually could bring someone back to life.
Well, and even if he can't bring someone back to life.
But maybe he could only unsplat this person because he directly pasted them.
But even if he can't bring someone back to life, there's a reason you don't want an Inoue in your anime.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It causes problems.
Yeah. Thankfully, he is on the bad guy's side, so he probably only has like 1 to 3 people he's actually going to theoretically heal.
Right, exactly, yeah. Because, like, can you imagine how boring that would be if he was just following Deku around and just, oh, Deku, you had that great bit in 210? I'm healing you. Yeah. Oh, you had, the great bit with, like, all these other characters, Koda and everything? Healing.
Yeah.
But, wow.
Okay, so we get basically a little bit of an explanation from Rappa as to what their plan is. So he says, even though Chisaki's so strong, he still left the fighting to his underlings. Why, when he come out, he's not here, right? Either run away or hide. I don't know the details, but I overheard them talking this part here.
Right.
They said they distribute large numbers of something or something.
Yeah. Large numbers of something or something.
Maybe that's supposed to be or someone. But they said basically all that's needed is money. Let's see this here. And that they needed money for that. And as long as they clear that, then that day will soon come to implement their plan.
Yep.
Which we don't really have any
Right, which we don't know, but...
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so Rappa might actually be really helpful then.
Yes.
For this
although he might also not know very much. Like, that might have been it, right? It's just like they're going to do distribution something and they need money. It's like, and that's pretty basic. If you have something that, like, neutralizes quirks temporarily, then, yeah. Although this perfect serum that he has might do that permanently.
Yeah.
Okay, Amon. Okay.
And it might also be something where it could be something that, like, because there's the stuff that, is, for taking away quirks and destroying them, but there's also the stuff for juicing up quirks. What if he ends up getting something that permanent stat boost, increase or something like that as well?
Yeah.
Really terrifying.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
so let's get into the episode here. Lockdown ends up becoming the most important person in this entire group because he just saved the party from a TPK. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm just thinking about his quirk now in so many other instances, and basically Horikoshi, because of the touch limitation, he basically understands how to make D&D abilities that are overpowered but not.
Right.
Is you just make it so they have to be touch based.
Right. That
means you incur opportunity attacks when they move towards getting that person there.
You have to make that attack roll against them, but you also have to be next to them. And one of the worst rules ever to have working against you in D&D is distance, movement. Like, if you're a melee person, awesome. But like there
if they fly, you're done.
Like there was a
thankfully he can use it on objects with no attack rolls.
Right. Yes, exactly. But
so you can just hop.
Slight D&D story.
Yeah.
In one of the D&D parties that I was in, we were at level 11, right?
Right.
And there was a fighter in our group. Because he was a fighter, that meant he had 3 attacks every turn, right? Because he's a fighter. Right. With that action surge and stuff, if he got next to something, they were done, right? However, he almost never got next to anything. Because he had 25 feet of movement instead of 30. It wasn't even something where it was like there's a sniper and you can't like catch up to them. It's just that you move, they move,
they move 5 more
farther, right? And then
now dashes, they move 10 more.
And you can either use your ranged weapon for pew pew pew, or you can take a dash and not attack and get next to them, right? Or maybe get like just a bit closer, like
level 13. What is it? Level 11. I'm gonna get what level did you say you guys were at?
11. Yeah.
Oh, so he had just gotten a feat or an ability score improvement?
He had gotten one at... or no, he had just gotten his third attack.
Well, when does he get the next feat?
12.
Oh, so the next level, he's like, I literally have to get the mobile feat. Otherwise, like, this is going to be stupid.
Yep. Or wait. Oh, no, yeah, that's right. We did end up getting... I was level 1 fighter, level 11 sorcerer. But yeah, so he ended up getting the mobile feat.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just for that extra 10. Because it makes all the difference. Like, you don't think it does, but it does.
It does.
So the idea of having just something where you have to touch them. Like Shigaraki's great. Someone could still take him out with a gun.
Same with the Overhaul.
Yeah, same with Overhaul.
That's why his ability can be this busted. And yet I'm like, well, there's still a chance.
Aizawa just, looks at him. And then whatever, right?
And good luck, bro.
Yep.
So we end up in a situation where Deku is needing to dig with Rocklock, keeping the tunnel in place. I love this combination. It's cool. I think Deku kicking walls seems hilarious, given that, he injured his arms by, making really, dumb punches. No, they were amazing and epic punches, but, having to deal with the results of that.
Yep.
Then suddenly Toga and freaking Twice appear and steal the show. Twice and Toga.
I've never been that much of a fan of Toga.
Yeah,
but she was awesome this episode.
I guess she has some serious physical agility and stuff as well. Because that dodge from Aizawa when she was, in my opinion, pretty restrained in the air.
Oh yeah.
It's rule of cool.
It's rule of cool.
But I loved the Rocklock stuff.
The Rocklock stuff was fantastic.
How's he supposed to know?
Yeah.
He didn't get a readout on the League of Villains.
Yep.
So Twice, he punches through the copy. But then Toga knifes him.
Yeah.
Instantly. And I love that we are now actually having weapons be terrifying in MHA.
Yes.
Because when Toga came at Tsuyu and Uraraka with a knife, I'm like, perfect. This was the build-up for Uraraka's, knife training or whatever.
Right, exactly.
And it applied, and it was great. But then when she, I think, was able to, dislodge, Uraraka there, I think she used the knife and cut Tsuyu's tongue a little bit or something like that.
Yeah, she did something that jostled them.
It did nothing or what have you.
Right, yeah.
It was
as opposed to let's get some real and probably because they're not students, right? They're adults, right? So we can actually have knife up to the hilt,
Right, but then you notice it when it's now that they've used the knife effectively, it's oh, right.
Yeah. Well, but they did build up the thing at the beginning of Uraraka with specifically training how to deal with a knife.
I'm just saying that was at a different point than when she got Tsuyu, But but anyway, Roglock's entire side of his stomach is just gone. Yeah. Obviously that's blood and everything. But it's a gaping wound. She
People
pulled
are
it
squishy.
out.
Human beings are squishy, fleshy things, and they need the liquid stuff in them.
And you can be a pro hero and still take wounds like this.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because obviously Rocklock's going to be okay. He's obviously going to be okay.
If Best Genus was okay with...
Best Genus survived.
That's the metric we're going to be using from this point forward.
If the hole only equals about this big, and it just narrowly misses the heart, the lungs...
Well, I'm pretty sure even Best Genus hole would have taken out a fair amount of the heart, but whatever. The
point is, we knew what was going on, and Aizawa's not dumb. He immediately realizes, wait, a knife wound? He doesn't go and be okay, I accept this immediately. His passive perception is too dang high for such BS.
Yep.
So he's immediately restraining Toga. And of course, Toga, nearly got Deku. There's hair that she narrowly missed. And I also am finding it kind of funny, this clever almost censoring thing they have for Toga being naked.
Well, right, it's like she's in some kind of skin tight white suit, bodysuit or something. Yeah. But then no, she is actually naked. But then Aizawa wraps her up completely in a cocoon.
Yep. And
but her legs were free. Her legs were free. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, if anything, was Aizawa's mistake because, he should have gotten...
Well, oh, no, even worse. Nothing. All of her limbs are free.
Oh, yeah.
He literally was just censoring
what are you doing?
her.
Yeah.
Aizawa was like, no, you kids!
Deku's virgin eyes must be protected.
Protect the protagonist's virgin eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's actually so funny that he missed, like, everything there. And I mean, he was moving quickly.
Right, I mean, he's Aizawa. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know.
And...
bad form, yeah.
And and then she pulls this move that is really cool.
Right. Because her legs were free, so she was able to jump and then also pull on the bandage, I guess, for tension.
Because it was taut, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as far as, teamwork goes, that was actually good villain teamwork.
I love that Aizawa has a knife too, though. Like, like that was just cool.
Batman's tool belt here.
Oh, yeah, because, well, one, let's be real, a gun would be too busted for Aizawa, right? Because then he'd just be bam,
right. Also, there's
bam.
but there's literally laws, so yeah.
Well, I mean, there might be, like, if there's law enforcement can have weapons, there might be something where
actually
certain heroes
never mind. We have Deadeye Snipe or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, McCree. Yeah,
McCree. Yeah, I think it's Snipe actually, but literally he walks around with a gun, so there's no issues there. Okay, then we have basically just the terror of realizing that Toga's out there, and this is a little bit weird. But then they do this back and forth thing with the League of Villains, and the League of Villains are trying to maybe play the Yakuza a little bit, and I like that. Yeah, because they should have some agency, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I do like all the Yakuza stuff that we're getting here, given that I'm currently playing the Yakuza game, and so the idea of like, you two need to become Yakuza in order to infiltrate.
You must play Shogi.
All this stuff. Yeah, I'm playing Shogi. I actually played Shogi in one of the Yakuza streams.
Right. I heard about that. Yeah.
I was terrible at it because I hadn't played before, but yeah. So it's really cool, and Twice. Again, like Twice.
Hold on. We got to talk about the things that they are doing, like the actual League of Villains plans and stuff like that.
Right.
Shigaraki is like doing this because he cares about them, and he's giving he's actually listening to Twice. He's like, you said you wanted to take responsibility, so this is me trusting you guys.
Right. This is the biggest leadership growth thing that Shigaraki has done to date. Right. Because one, he understood that there was a time when he needed to take a back seat, right? Mm-hmm. And that he's letting Overhaul do his thing, right? Yep. And he's trying to one up him, and he did the negotiation part, even though they didn't necessarily show all of it, right? Mm-hmm. To get perfect agents for the job on the inside,
right?
Which was really good.
And they end up being the instrument of chaos that leads to
whatever's going to happen in the next episode.
Well, yeah, but they lead to him losing his cool. The dungeon delving.
Yep.
I am become the labyrinth.
Right. They should just call him
here.
Pan at this point.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, and then of course the adorable bit with Twice's mask getting exposed, and then freaking Toga comes up there with a pink handkerchief.
That was actually really sweet.
Ties it over his head.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, what is this?
Because the idea... Because the bit of backstory that we got from Twice, before, right? That was the best thing that I had ever seen as far as from the villains, right? Maybe not All for One, but he kind of doesn't count because he's too big and powerful. Mm-hmm. But as far as characterizing one of the villains and making me empathize and all that stuff and care about them, what they did with Twice was absolutely phenomenal, right? It was amazing. So the fact that they're bringing it up again here, where something as simple as his mask is torn is causing him to seriously freak out, but Toga gets it and covers for him.
I mean,
literally.
she knows. She's probably heard it specifically.
Oh, yeah, right. But the idea that they've got each other's backs is really cool because the villains are constantly sort of ribbing each other,
Okay.
The fact that they're actually looking out for each other is really cool. Whether that's something that speaks to Shigaraki's leadership skills and that he actually trusted them and things like that here. Sure. The little talk he gave, that could be it. or it could just be a way to basically give virtues to the villains, right? Where they're not just constantly trying to be like, well, you said something I don't like, kind of a thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we have that, and then we have freaking Night Eye with his 5 kilogram releasing ranged weapons, which I don't exactly understand, but I basically get that
they just go in between the fingers, I guess.
Well, right, but he throws the little pieces out, though.
Right. Yeah, he backhanded the Twice copy, and then also sort of threw them with it.
Battle support items, high density, personal seals. So basically, they're the stamps where you seal like a letter of writ or what have you.
Yep.
But he throws them extremely fast, essentially. And because he's not punching with them. That was what I almost thought he was doing, essentially. He was using them as brass knuckles, but I was more like he was holding them there.
He probably could use them as brass knuckles.
No, he's a regular guy. He would shatter probably his fingers.
Well, okay, yeah, good point. Good point.
So he's throwing them, and he's just super, good at throwing them. Right. So he threw 3 of them at the guy's chest, like extremely hard. And if he's good at this, he can probably throw them at speeds where it would really hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if he would do anime creator stuff like this necessarily.
Right, but, whatever. But,
oh my gosh.
Well,
that's a cool idea.
Well, and in a lot of ways, I feel like the anime creator stuff is the closest thing we can get to actually having bludgeoning damage have an effect. Because usually in any kind of, medium like this, whether you're talking to anime or live action or whatever, bludgeoning damage doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah.
It has to be piercing or slashing because you have to see the flesh being separated, right?
Right. Now, it does take off a bit of Twice's ear, though, here.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is just a cool thing to remember. Like, heroes, they're dungeon crawling, but they have magic items, Right. They bring in their little...
equipped.
They're properly equipped. They bring in their gear, and they have specific ones that are tied to their abilities because the whole world is built around supporting them in, whatever way possible. So, of course, Night Eye has some really cool, these are actually quite humorous, aren't they? Yeah. And they go with my... boss manager outlook. And I just love that he's enjoying this because he was the fanboy that basically became the leader of a hero organization or what have you. And he's in some ways just having fun mocking the villains. I just he's such a complex weird character and I love him. So
and also we didn't mention this as much before, but the dance between Twice.
Yes, let's find that again.
That brought me back to like Death Parade opening. Like, that was so good. That was
said
wonderful.
You trusted us.
Yep.
Then because I am myself,
I will act as I wish. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they start to dance. All I need to do is what I want.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this is why the Yakuza are dying out. And then they really are hopeless. The bedridden guy is useless, and he just rages just so pissed off at them.
I love using dancing as a motif, whether it's for like actual dancing or just showing characters in their element, so it's like they're dancing. I absolutely love it. So the fact that the two of them were just dancing together as like, we are the two engines of chaos.
We are in solidarity.
Right.
Despite being mixed in with this different crime organization. Because they're meanies and we don't like them.
Exactly. But just how much chaos Twice and Toga can sow is absolutely ridiculous. And because they're separated from the League of Villains, it's like they can just do whatever they want, right? It won't at all really have a negative effect on League of Villains as long as they get away.
Which they easily
can, right? That's not hard.
No,
right?
It's not.
That's the simplest thing for them to do, right?
So, all right.
Yep.
In some ways, I want them kind of mucking about in the dungeon some more, even though they were just had the floor collapsed on them and they're going somewhere,
which might be to fight Aizawa and Deku specifically.
Yeah, it might literally pit them against the heroes, which would be really funny. It's kind of a thing of like, now you guys play together as he tries to crush you, and then they're like, hey, we
were supposed to piss you off, but you weren't supposed to like hit back, you know.
Until we get out of this, heroes, can we be friends? You know,
right.
We kind of figure this out, and it's just like,
oh my god,
well, that's awkward. And then,
but I mean, that could work too. It's like, hey, we know stuff, you know.
Then Toga would be like even extra creepy, and she's like being able to get close, and Dick will be like, no, at least 3 feet distance at all times, be gone. You know, and she's just like,
man. Well, yeah, and then wait, are Uraraka and Tsuyu with them or no? Because they ended up getting split up.
No,
because I was gonna say that would be really funny if Uraraka and Tsuyu are there and Toga's there, and it's like their previous encounter and all that stuff, and
Toga's doing her
yeah, and Toga's like, and her line of like, I'm so glad I came. It's like, okay,
we know what you did there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The bros look down on you in judgment. Condescending stare.
Yes, but great episode, and it's building up to something that could be potentially really crazy next episode. So, yeah.
I would say that I am a fan of the dungeon crawling style of things. However, there is a lot of recap that they're doing.
This is
and
true.
I would prefer if we have less of that moving forward.
That totally makes sense.
But yeah. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, you can't because we're watching it live with everyone else there.
That's right.
But you can check out Timer full-length reactions in the description below for our Patreon. And any level support gets you access to our Discord where you can chat with us in the community there about MHA. Anime onlys are there. Manga people are there. And, people that want to talk about stories in anime of all other types, like Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Indeed. I wrote a sci-fi novel, and it's awesome, and it's called Battle Lines, and it's available for purchase on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. It's in both hardcover and ebook, so whichever works best for you.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.